Alright guys, you're ready to talk about Season 3, Episode 35 of the Twilight Zone. So with this episode, it's kind of hokey.
So, I Sing the Body Electric was something that I think I've heard before. It had this weird ring to it where I was like, did some band use that as like their name of their album or song or some shit?
Reminds me of Trip the Light Fantastic.
Yeah, it's like some weird, sentence that like sticks in your head or something like that. But that was the highlight of the episode.
I like the jokey, like, let me grab the different body parts and throw them in this chute, and the people downstairs assemble them.
Something about, I agree. Something about the chute. And then, like, the, head of that showroom, egging them on, yeah, fucking do it. Put more stuff in the chute.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's paying? Where'd the dad go? You can't just have kids put stuff in your chute. It's against the law.
I think,
horrible.
Where things, fell apart for me was that there was no, horrible twist.
Yeah.
I live for the horrible twist.
Me too.
I wanted there to be and she's evil.
I know.
Or this company killed your mother to make, some profits. Or, I don't know, anything.
They're just going around murdering. Yeah. So I'm still struggling to remember the whole thing. You had the one daughter who was like, no, I hate you. You're not my real mom.
She was reluctant against anything that
Grandma.
wasn't her real mother.
Yeah, and you're gonna leave too. Okay, exactly. No, I had a major problem with this. Did I articulate my thoughts? Of course not. So she doesn't learn to face the fact that everyone dies. She has a proxy fake person.
They even say she'll never leave you.
Says,
she can't die.
She says,
but then she leaves you.
And then she leaves her, but she's fine.
Yeah.
And they don't even make a thing out of that. I know. This should be a story all about how you learn as a kid that death is real, and you find out that this is just the cycle of life, and you have to deal with it or something like that. But she gets a cop out thing where now she has a fake caregiver who can never die, and she goes, really? Okay. And then it cuts to them all old.
Yeah.
The time jump was totally
The
unnecessary.
time jump was weird, and it happened very whoo, here it goes.
Yeah.
And you just get what would it be? Probably 10 years of this person, in their lives, who's impossibly charismatic for a robot, and really is the grandmother figure that
real
they needed.
robots aren't that charismatic.
But that being said, it's well, why wouldn't we want you in our life further? We've put this much time in. Is it a rental thing? Do you pay by the year? I assumed you purchased this thing, but it goes back to feed the information it learned to eventually kill humanity.
I was going to say, she acts like it's part of a natural life cycle, but didn't they get, the first demo, unit or whatever? Has this always been the plan?
Oh, I didn't pick up anything on a demo unit.
Not the first, but they saw, an ad, oh, yeah, this. They'd never heard of it before. This sounds interesting. It just seemed to me that this was a new thing for society to have robot maids.
It didn't strike me as something super new. It just to me was when you're not looking for something and you're oh, this thing.
Sure.
But no, it certainly could have been. This is the first year of these things.
And regardless, what was it the Hall of Voices, a great dim room where we talk to each other and share what we learned. She's done this before. Is this how this works? And yes, eventually take over humanity.
Well, very very goofy. Strange to be sure. And the idea of picking out a person by individual body parts and never seeing them together before you see the final product is a little weird, because you might pick the cool oh, this nose and this and it might be a horrifyingly grotesque
they get
mixture.
assembled into a wet human owl hybrid. No, I know. And with the eyes and the hair and stuff like that, I was kind of whatever. But then he keeps going and he's and the ears, you must pick the ears. And I'm who the fuck cares about anybody's ears?
And there's do you want a skinny one or and what they say? They didn't say fat. They're or a proud one or something
one.
Like that.
I don't know what he said. Yeah, there was you had to pick all the things, but it should have been Total Recall, where you're answering a questionnaire and she's taking shape in front of you or whatever.
Yeah, I would have preferred the their whatever they could make happen digitally at this time with this, and it would just be people changing it behind a window.
It was already a black spotlit void of a room. You could have done. I don't know what I wanted there. That's a nitpick at that point, but I didn't want.
Or they could have done it
parts down a chute.
More like the one where you pick your young body episode, and it could have just been a bunch of posed grandmas and mothers and blah blah blah. Oh, this one's in her 20s. This one's 80. Which one do you want? I would like a kind old woman.
It's a showroom of you know, the different types
Yeah, nannies for hire.
of like whatever. Yeah, and then you could be like, well, I'm not looking for this. Is just for the kids. Okay, so you want this? Well, she's a like this model's a bit old. She's a bit less capable, and like her like whatever. She's supposed to be like a 90-year-old grandma. She just bakes. She doesn't do a lot of like heavy. And it's like, okay.
Oh, I need
And
heavy
then-
lifting.
Yeah, and then it's like, okay, here we go.
Give me Frau whatever.
Yeah, here's like a sassy 62-year-old broad that's got a half a mind to give you a piece of hers. Hey, okay, here we go.
And
then
a
we,
trick knee.
and 2 trick knees.
Oh.
Just spins in a circle. No,
They're like helicopter blades.
So the main like crescendo here is that the bratty daughter runs away, and the grandma bot saves her and like gets hit by a car off half off camera and like is just fine, and then she says nothing can hurt me. It's not just that she just doesn't get old and die. She's also like invincible.
Oh, she's the Terminator.
She's even the Terminator has his like fake skin come off if something bad happens. She's just like
Well, her
untouched.
thing is she only has fake skin from like the knee down and like the elbow down. The rest of it is it's just like cloth and metal.
Just a terrifying metal robot. Sure, I would actually like something like that. Some weird thing where she's like, and it's like
it's an easy bake oven in her chest that just
weird,
pulls
like,
out
gears
fucking
and stuff
cookies.
like that. Yeah. Or something, right? Like have her grabbing like a hot pan out of the oven or something, hot like casserole dish or whatever. Just like set me up a little bit, I guess. It just seemed really weird. Where I was like, oh, and the robot gave its life, and now she did kind of die, but then you learned something. Or whatever. No, she's like, hey, kids, I'm fine. It was very like, okay,
yeah, I
never
would have
mind.
preferred
Fuck.
her like attempting to kill the father and take over. Like I must be the only parent. This parent is insufficient.
No, or like you're not a good parent. I agree. We must eliminate you.
Something.
I was told to do everything I can to make these kids' lives better, and like all that stuff, right? And
Yeah,
that's
but you got
like
nothing-
a Black Mirror
nothing
type
like
of
that.
ending or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can't say I wasn't a little disappointed just because it didn't feel like the Twilight Zones that I long for. I want something dark and twisted and put myself in a scenario, and I can never be like, I want to go back in time and lose a parent and get a nanny and see how I would turn out.
What if I had a robot made and everything went well?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, like they don't have to be horror movie spooky things, but I think that we've kind of agreed implicitly
Make me
here.
think.
It needs to have some sort of like a little like thing.
Yeah.
And they will play that noise, and you'll be like, oh no, now it's happening to him, and like, oh no, what if
Even
it
some
happened to
like
me?
misdirect. Even if they would
Yeah.
have painted the picture to be like, oh, maybe she is like something bad happens. Like, did the maid do that? Like something
Yeah.
that would have made me be like make me feel something.
Let me feel something.
It didn't seem like genuine. It was like, oh, this is a softball. Like
No, it just kind of happened, and then it just kind of ended.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a very this is not going to rank amongst the whatevers.
not very
right?
forgettable.
No, this is going in the pile.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's this episode as well. It's on. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.